preseason game in the NFL. Again, it's just week two, but the most intriguing team throughout perhaps this entire offseason, throughout this entire NFL draft, the preseason, the San Francisco 49ers were on display again, and that means that their rookie quarterback, Trae Lance, was in action again for the second time this preseason, and he played pretty well. 8 of 14, 102 yards. Again, just the second appearance for him as he led the 49ers to a 15-10 win over the Los Angeles Chargers. And I will say, yes, he threw an interception. He did throw 2 touchdowns. So I liked the resilience from him. And I did see so much more arm strength from him than I've seen from so many other quarterbacks that we've seen. He can fling that football. He throws darts. He throws strikes. They're on the money. They're with conviction. He zips every single ball in there, and that was extremely, extremely impressive to see. But this is why I've always said the San Francisco 49ers were always the most intriguing team, because here you have a team that just 2 years ago they reached the Super Bowl, and then their season is derailed by injury, so they get the 3rd pick in the NFL draft. And they've got this returner in Jimmy Garoppolo, and so the question is, what do you do with that 3rd pick? They obviously decided to take a quarterback, and now you pose this quarterback battle, this quarterback duel, and yet in the back of your mind, the context is, well, when our quarterback's healthy and Jimmy Garoppolo, he just led us, along with that defense, to a Super Bowl appearance. Just led us to a Super Bowl appearance not that long ago. So they've always had this ultimate dilemma, because when they've had Jimmy Garoppolo, it's fair to say that he's had a really rocky and unsteady tenure with the 49ers so far. His first year, obviously, he was traded midseason in 2017, and he goes 5-0 as the starter. Second season, in his 3rd game with the 49ers, he tears his ACL. He's done for the season. 3rd year, along with that defense, he stays healthy. He leads them to a Super Bowl appearance against the Kansas City Chiefs. Then last year, of course, sustained the high ankle injury that pretty much curtailed the majority of his season. So the question was always, okay, with this 3rd pick, are we drafting a quarterback as an insurance plan for Jimmy Garoppolo because of his injury history? Or are we drafting a quarterback to potentially replace and serve as an upgrade to help elevate our team to reach a new height that we couldn't reach with Jimmy Garoppolo? Now, to me, before the preseason even started, I was always of the mindset that Jimmy Garoppolo is the starter. He's the seasoned vet. He's the experienced player. And no matter how well Trae Lance plays, he will not take the starting job, at least for week 1. That wasn't going to happen. There would need to be some catastrophic events to take place, or Jimmy Garoppolo to really stink up the joint for that to happen, because the truth of the matter is, as well as Jimmy G has played for the 49ers in the past, and again, he has shown, listen, you can be the starting quarterback to lead a team to a Super Bowl, but naturally, when you draft a quarterback number 3 overall, the implication is that they're probably going to replace and eventually usurp the incumbent. That's normally what happens when you invest so much into such a high pick in the number 3 overall pick in the NFL draft to take a quarterback. So for me, no one said that Jimmy Garoppolo was innately more talented than Trae Lance. But what we all assumed was that he had played well enough and that he was talented enough and that he had earned the job given the sustained number of years he's been there to be the starting quarterback entering week 1. That was the assumption. But I will say this. You watch the preseason game yesterday, and Jimmy G, granted, he only played 1 series, but he goes 3 for 6, 15 yards, and an interception. Now, again, the interception went off the hands of Brandon Ayuk, but the pass was a little bit too high. And to be honest, right now, Jimmy Garoppolo is basically begging Kyle Shanahan to start Trae Lance. That's essentially how he's been playing with his performances, with his bad performances this preseason. Now, I don't like to make too much of the preseason, but again, there's a difference between going through the motions, playing a more lackluster style, a little more lackadaisical, but you know that, hey, I'm still going to be the starter because I'm more talented than the backup. Well, that's not the case anymore. I mean, he was throwing picks in the joint practices versus the Chargers. He threw a pick in the actual preseason game versus the Chargers. And there's a common maxim in sports when it comes to teams that either play to win or play not to lose. And typically the most successful teams, they play to win. They like being the aggressors. It doesn't mean that you're not playing intelligently or pragmatically, but it just means you're making a concerted effort to be a little bit more aggressive and to not play timid, not play fearful and scared and constantly looking behind your back. Because the teams that don't play to win, that play not to lose, Exhibit A, the Atlanta Falcons in the 2017 Super Bowl against the Patriots, they're up 28-3. They played way too conservatively, and they blew that lead. So there are those that are more proactive, that are initiating, and those that are reactive, that are willing to wait to see what happens. And right now, the 49ers have this conundrum because the conundrum is they've got two quarterbacks, but they've got one quarterback that's playing to win, that's playing fearless, and that's their rookie quarterback in Trae Lance. And they've got another quarterback who's the incumbent, who's quite frankly playing shaky and unconfident right now. And so that's the dilemma that they're in. Again, it'd be one thing if you say to yourself, okay, Jimmy G is playing pretty well, but Trae Lance is just blowing everyone away, so let's start him. But Jimmy G is making this decision harder and harder for Kyle Shanahan, not because both players are playing extremely well, and so Kyle Shanahan is now in this dilemma. It's because Jimmy G isn't playing very well, and he's almost begging and flirting with the idea of Kyle Shanahan inserting Trae Lance. It's almost like he's leaving him no choice. And I'm not trying to disparage Jimmy G right now, but I think he's been resting on his laurels a little bit too much because he is on a razor thin margin right now. Yes, he is the designated starter, is what I believe. But man, I got to tell you, the way that he's playing right now, he is not solidifying that role or that confidence in the mind of Kyle Shanahan. He is testing the faith of Kyle Shanahan. He's testing the faith of the 49ers organization for all that equity that he built, leading them to a Super Bowl along with the defense. This kind of invisible immunity cloak that he's been wearing right now, it is fading, and it is fading fast. That confidence is fading fast, and the more we're seeing Trae Lance play, the more upside, the more excitement we're starting to see and starting to expose more of the deficiencies perhaps with Jimmy G. And again, I understand it's just a preseason game, but the way that both of them are playing, again, it's not that both players are playing extremely well. And so for Kyle Shanahan, he'll go with the seasoned vet. No, the rookie is showing tremendous upside. And the guy who was supposed to be the stable horseman, he hasn't been playing well, like at all, in the joint practices or the preseason game. So that's extremely concerning right now. And I wouldn't be surprised if Kyle Shanahan, if he sees one more atrocious game, granted it was one series in a preseason, but if he sees another atrocious series from Jimmy G in this third and final preseason game, I would not be surprised at all if he ultimately decided, you know what, let's give this rookie a chance. Let's give this rookie a chance.